Hey listeners, welcome back to The Dreadful Dialogue, a podcast where we chat about all things horror. I'm Elise, and I have my co-host with me, Kristen. What's going on?
Hello. Oh, just another wonderful day in the neighborhood.
Another wonderful day in the neighborhood. I love it.
Yeah. Another fun-filled day. Yeah, I'm doing okay. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. You know, we're hanging in there. We got the time change, and we're going to go back in time to 1998 today because we are going to be covering the movie The Faculty. Yeah. Do you like this movie?
I do. I really like this movie.
Yeah.
I definitely saw it in the movie theater.
Me too. Yeah, I saw it with my mom. It was funny because I was doing my rewatch and she came over like mid-watch and she's like, "Oh, I remember this one." And then I was like, "I don't remember when I first saw it." And then it clicked to both of us. I was like, "I think I made you take me to the movies to see this," even though I was old enough. Like I was already going to watch horror movies on my own with my cousin and friends and stuff. I was like, me and my mom would bond by going to the movie theater together. And I'm sure it was like my turn to pick. So it was cool. I remember seeing it in the movie theater.
I love that. Yeah, I definitely went with a group of friends. And I remember watching it late at night and us being like terrified. Like we went to like the 10:20 movie or whatever, you know, after we're done working our weekend jobs. And we're like, oh no!
Yeah, I didn't find it that scary, but I still liked it. I thought it's a fun one. I don't know if it aged. It's very much a 1990s time capsule. I think we'll get into that with our discussion, but let's go ahead. Yeah. Give us a synopsis before we actually get into our discussion.
Sure. So 1998 sci-fi horror film The Faculty is about a group of misfit Ohio high school students that discover their teachers are being infected by a parasitic alien invader of some type. The students, using a homemade caffeine-based drug, fight back to prevent the parasite queen from taking over the entire town, with the climax taking place in the school gymnasium. Because why not?
Why not? Yeah, this is total 1990s high school movie. I mean, we've talked about it before, right? We've covered Scream, but besides horror movies, there was a ton of high school movies. Can't Hardly Wait, Not Another Teen Movie was a spoof. Right. Of course, you know, I Know What You Did Last Summer. We had tons of them. So this is
Scary Movie, all of that. Yeah, you know, that was a spoof too.
Yeah, if you were a 90s kid, like this movie will totally vibe with you. You may not want to go back to the 1990s, but this movie will definitely take you back there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And this cast is pretty awesome. We have Jordana Brewster, we have Clea Duvall, we have Josh Hartnett, Selma Hayek, Famke Janssen, my boy Elijah Wood. Yeah. And then we have Bebe Neuwirth, and she's from Cheers. And Frasier's tumultuous ex-wife. We have Usher. I always forget Usher's list.
Usher.
Yes. Yeah. Usher. We have Jon Stewart. Like, oh my God, Jon Stewart. And then, I don't know if you know this, but the guy who plays the FU boy, that's John Abrams. And he was the lead in Scary Movie.
Yeah. It's like totally 90s teenage stacked, and even the older actors it's totally stacked. If you're younger, like Usher might not be as hip as he used to be. Like I don't know if he's still putting out albums, but like his music was super popular. Josh Hartnett was a total heartthrob. Jordana Brewster wasn't. I think this was one of her first roles.
This is basically the first role for Josh Hartnett, Jordana Brewster, Clea Duvall. Like it really paved the way for them. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And then we also have Sean Hattie, which if you're a fan of the show The Pit, like that was another one me and my mom were watching. She's like, and I'm like, look, Mom, it's the doctor from The Pit. So I love that Robert Patrick. I don't know if you caught his name. He's he's Coach Willis, right? But he is the guy from Terminator 2. And he is the T-1000. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm not remembering off the top of my head. The T-1000, yeah. Okay. I'm like, I should know. Terminator 1 is like one of my top movies of all times, period. Not just horror, you know, sci-fi.
Right.
Paul loves Terminator 2. That's one of his favorite movies of all time. So yeah, he plays the T-1000, Robert Patrick, and he's the coach. However, Jon Stewart's character is Edward Furlong.
Edward Furlong. I know. I was dying. I was like, oh, Edward Furlong. Oh. He's had a rough go at it. That poor
Yeah, but
guy.
I just thought it was great that they like
That was
tied him
funny.
into timed him
Yeah.
tied it somewhat back to him being being a
Terminator.
Terminator in the Terminator movies. So that's really
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, stacked cast, lots to be seen with that.
Yeah. I mean, I related a lot to Stokely. That's Clea Duvall's character. I dressed like that. I still do.
Yeah,
I was
me.
dying. I was dying. I was like, that was me in high school. Like I had short hair like that at some point, like everything. I was like, this is crazy. But yeah. So much fun going back to the 90s.
Yeah. I don't know if I like really related to any one of them in like a particular way. Like I wasn't like a super popular person. I wasn't
Yeah.
unpopular. I was just like average popular, I guess. I
Mm.
wasn't even though I was into horror movies, I didn't dress super gothy. I don't even
Oh,
know how to
okay.
describe how I dressed. I mean, I was an average athlete. I wasn't a superstar either. I ran track. I didn't do the newspaper. I don't know. But I mean, it was still you could see that they played up those stereotypes, and I think that's
Yeah.
what's interesting about this movie. It's 16 Candles with Invasion of the Body Snatchers, even a sprinkle of the Thing with a specific scene. So I thought it was
Yeah.
cool that they kind of like mashed those up together. So it was cool. Like it was an interesting vibe that they did that.
Yeah, I agree. I also got like Breakfast Club vibes too because of like, how when they were in the Breakfast Club, they have all these different like archetypes of characters, which really mirrored in this cast. You know,
Wait, I said,
uh,
what did I say? Did I not say?
you
I
said
said 16 candles, huh?
candles.
I meant
Yeah.
Breakfast Club. Oh
Oh,
my
did you?
God, I'm not on my game right now. Wrong 80s Anthony Michael Hallmark. At least I didn't say Weird Science. Oh my
That
God,
could also apply, right?
that's what I meant. I meant Breakfast Club, but I said when you said that right now,
Oh,
and
okay.
I go, why is she saying that? Okay, yeah, I meant to say.
It's all good,
I
girl.
meant to say
You know,
Breakfast Club because you got the jock, you got the nerdy kid, which is like Elijah Wood's character. You have the
yeah, yeah,
gothy girl,
yeah.
Ali Sheedy, which is Claire
Duvall.
Duvall's character. You have the popular one, which is Jordana Brewster, which is Molly Ringwald. Oh my God. Yeah,
Yeah.
listeners, I'm sure they caught on to anyway, I cut you off, but yes, I meant to
No,
say
it's
Breakfast Club, not
okay.
I'm messing up my 80s movies here.
Yeah, yeah. And like even when the teachers are like, yeah, they're turning and stuff, they kind of gave off like the vibe of the coach too from the Breakfast Club, like Coach Willis, or I guess he wasn't the coach. He was like the assistant principal. I forget. I haven't watched that movie in a long time. But like, yeah, Coach Willis was giving off the vibe from the assistant principal from Breakfast Club too, where
Yeah.
he's just like very gruff and like he hates kids. Like
Yeah, I know. Talking about a faculty. I mean, again, as people know, I'm an educator. I'm just like, wow.
right,
Like,
right.
I'm not even gonna go into detail, like the whole relationship with Josh Hartnett's character and the teacher. Like, okay, red flags,
Oh, yeah.
inappropriate. We don't got time to go into that, other than we don't condone it.
Yeah, she was wild when she showed up in her like tankini top. And she's like, "Hi, baby," or whatever she called them, sweetheart, baby cakes, or whatever. I was
Baby
like,
weeks.
girlfriend, girlfriend, what are you doing? Okay, you're going to jail. Anyway,
So do you think that it was a good idea that they did that, or do you think it was like is it a played out concept to rely on the stereotypes of like the jock, the goth, the nerd, those sort of things?
I think for the times it works a lot, like for the 90s. This was when we were really heavy in the teen movies. There was a lot of like the dorky girl who gets a makeover, the nerdy guy, is he gonna get laid during the summer? Stuff like that. I just think, like, yeah, it probably was played out, but for the times, it was extremely popular. And I think that really fed into like the entertainment aspect of the 90s, which is kind of sad. Like that's what they got the laughs out of, is like the dork, the fat kid, the ugly girl, you know what I mean? So it was really for the times. Yeah. If it were made now, I don't know if it would do as well, just because like we've evolved a lot more with like acceptance.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
there were some jokes in here where I cringed, where I
I
was
mean
like,
it
ooh,
you definitely it's anything like any movies as time goes on, we figure out like certain things that aren't appropriate to say. And we always watch our movies with like the sense of like we're just gonna watch them in the times that they were. We don't excuse all of the we don't excuse all of the bad behavior. I think this is like a Weinstein movie. Like we don't excuse that guy and his shenanigans, but we're not gonna punish the whole movie because there is some other things. There's other actors and other people in this movie to be celebrated.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I feel the same way because like Danny Masterson's in this movie very briefly. And I was like, but he's not in it enough where it like ruins it. Like I wouldn't even say he's a minor character. He's basically like an extra for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I was like, oh, I forgot I totally forgot he was in it. I was like, oh yeah, that also didn't age well. But thinking about the 90s, so this movie has a couple of remakes of popular songs. It has Another Brick in the Wall and The Kids Aren't All Right. What'd you think about that?
Well, I thought The Kids Aren't All Right was a remake, but what it is like that is the Offspring song.
Okay.
It's a remake of a title from The Who, because like I was like, oh, is this a remake? And I didn't know it. But when I compared lyrics, they're totally different songs.
Oh, okay. So then I was mistaken. It's not a remake.
No, it's okay. It's the same song title. So like that's bound to happen. Another Brick in the Wall. I love Pink Floyd. I grew up listening to them a lot because my dad was really into them. I appreciate the cover, and I love it that it's basically a super group called the Class of '99. So it was Lane Staley, Tom Morello,
Rage Against the Machine.
Rage Against the Machine. We have like the drummer from Jane's Addiction. I'm sorry, I don't have all their names in front of me. So I appreciate the cover. I really loved Alice in Chains growing up. So I, of course, was like, this soundtrack is banging. Yeah. It really is. You have Garbage. I love Garbage. I'm a big fan of theirs.
My God. I love everything they do. Yeah.
Me too. I love Shirley Manson. She's a whole mood. Yes. Creed's in it, whatever.
Creed didn't age well either. But the Offspring, I still like the Offspring.
Yeah,
I wasn't a huge fan, but I like them. But I like them, but I'm not a diehard fan.
I really liked them growing up, and I actually got grounded for having their cassette tape when I was like 12 because of their song called Bad Habit. I won't repeat what is said. You can look it up if you don't know, but I definitely got grounded for that. Yeah, the Offspring, they're actually touring right now, side note, with Bad Religion. And I'm like, dang, I want to go.
Wu-Tang of all people, I think, is on the tour. Wu-Tang.
Yeah. It's so cool. Yeah. So this soundtrack's pretty banging. I appreciate the remake. Going back to that, sorry. The remake's pretty good. It's fitting for the times. It kind of gives like a hard rock metal vibe and maybe a little bit darker than the original.
Yeah. I don't think I would have liked the remake just to hear it, like if they just decided to make a random remake and put it on the radio. But this was such this was such a 90s thing. Not Another Teen Movie. You had Marilyn Manson covering Tainted Love. The Scream soundtrack is full of a ton, like at least 1 and 2 for sure. I can't speak on the other ones. Scream 1 and 2 have a bunch of remakes on them or covers. So covers are like a really big thing in the 90s in teen movies. So I thought it fit right in. Again, to me it would have been random for them to just like randomly make this cover, but I liked it for this. I thought it went well with the vibe of the movie.
Yeah, I do too. It's pretty dark. The movie's dark, and not just like topically, but also like the cinematography is like very dark and like dreary. So I think that really fits so well. Yeah, I really enjoyed the effects of this movie too. Yeah, I read that a lot of it was not CGI. A lot of it was animatronic and stuff like that. I was like, oh, that is so neat. I didn't even realize.
I think some of it may even have to do with Robert Rodriguez. If you watch other Robert Rodriguez films, he's known for having some good practical effects, and even when he does non-practical effects, he's known to have some pretty cool ones too. So I liked it. I thought the effects, I think they hold up well. I don't think they look terrible. I'm not an expert on that stuff. I'm sure other people might have other opinions, but I like them. I thought they were still cool to see the bugs coming out, the moving head. The big reveal. Spoiler alert, there's a big, what is she? I don't even know what you call her. A big slug, big monster alien thing.
They called her like the queen alien.
The queen alien, but
on the Googles.
Yeah. Okay. But
Yeah.
I thought they were cool looking. I liked everything. And you're right, it is a very I hadn't realized how besides the content of it being dark, that the movie itself is kind
Yeah.
of like a dreadful a dreadful palette.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It's very dreary. It's very dark. It definitely feeds into the, oh man, we're in high school vibe too, which I liked. I thought like I have to say my favorite effect like change was with Miss Burks, where she kind of looked like an octopus. That's Famke Janssen's character.
Thing, yeah.
Yeah, her head is like slithering, like almost like an octopus. I was like, oh my God, that's so rad. Like, I forgot about that. So
Yeah.
watching back, I was like, this is so freaking cool.
It
It
reminded
was,
me of The Thing. Have you ever seen The Thing? I
yeah,
think it's
yeah,
the 70s, the not the
yeah, yeah,
original, the one with Kurt Russell. I don't even think I've ever
yeah,
seen
yeah.
the original Thing. That's the one I've seen.
I don't think so either.
But it
I don't
gave me
think I
that
have either.
vibes. And of course, it also let's get into how they're figuring out. So the teenagers are figuring out that the faculty have become these aliens, and the way that they are figuring out who are actually getting turned into aliens, because it could happen like basically at any time, is they're
Right.
using this drug that Josh Hartnett's character Zeke is producing, and I crack up the name is scat, right?
Yeah.
Where did they come up with the name scat? I'm thinking animal, like isn't that the name for animal poo? Like
I
scat.
think
Okay.
so.
And it's just
So
caffeine, and
weird.
they're using the scat, and the way they end up once they figure out that you can put that on the person, and if they inhale it or ingest it, that it'll reveal that they're an alien. And when they're doing that, it's very much the Thing vibe as well. I know I went off on a big circle here to
Yeah.
get back to
Yeah.
the
It's
movie The
okay.
Thing. It's kind of like the Thing, the way that they're testing them. So I thought that was a cool little homage too, that they do that in.
Yeah. I do too. And like some people I was reading, some people were saying like the faculty was more satirical with that, but I didn't catch that vibe. Even with the rewatch, I didn't see it like making fun of the Thing or like trying to be funny at all. So I don't understand that opinion. I did
Yeah,
not get that vibe.
I wouldn't agree with that either. I thought it was just a
Yeah.
nice. You could only reinvent the wheel so many times.
Right.
I mean, Scream does it right. They totally bring back
Hmm.
all sorts of. I mean, all that's a big thing in horror movies. There's tropes and there's things where they're constantly doing callbacks to other movies. So I thought they did it in a respectful way. I didn't find it to be satirical in any way.
Yeah, same here. I was really shocked to see an opinion like that, but everybody, has their own thoughts and opinions about movies. I really liked when they were going around and they're making Zeke basically do it for like, was he second, I think? And I'm like, why are you going to have him do it second when he's the one who made it? That is like, so I don't know why. I was just like, why are you having him do it second when he's supposed to be like I guess like almost in charge of this concept? Why do you want him to get high first?
Yeah. Well, they were playing. I think I think they were playing up the whole bad boy persona stereotype again, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
But let's talk about him actually, because
Yeah.
he's kind of at the end. He becomes a jock,
Right. Right.
right? But he's supposed to be this good-looking one, but he's not a dropout, but he's what we would call like a super senior. He didn't make
Right.
it his senior year. He's very brainy, right? When with the science teacher, he's figuring things out. He drives this I think it's a GTO, right? He drives it
Yeah. Yeah.
crazy. So, what did you think about him? And would you have been into him despite being a drug dealer and a super senior?
I'm not attracted to Josh Hartnett. I don't know if that's weird.
Yeah.
I'm not. I kind of I like his personality though, where he comes off very confident and cocky, but at the same time, he has like this very like smart kind of swagger about him. I don't know. Like, yeah, he's very charismatic. I liked him, but I'm not like, oh, he's hot.
Yeah.
The hair.
Oh God, we have to talk about that hair. Yeah.
So
Okay. I wouldn't have dated him. I probably would have made out with him though. But
I would, yeah,
that hair was a turn. And I'm not a huge Josh Hartnett fan. I don't think he's hot. I don't think he's busted. I think
right.
he's better. I think he's good looking. I liked him when he got a little older in like Pearl Harbor.
He's
I
yeah,
mean, I
he's
wouldn't
better
turn him
look.
away, but I don't think I would have been like chasing after him. I wouldn't have had a
No.
crush. It would have been like, oh, cool. We want to kiss me at a party. Okay, I'll kiss him at a party. But the
I
hair
mean,
was a no-no.
yeah, Zeke wasn't for me. I actually thought Stan was better looking. I don't know. I liked and I liked his personality more. But that hair, girl,
What
it
is
looks
up with
like there's something about Mary in the back. Like,
Oh my god, it's like
stick it out.
sticking up. You think, oh yeah,
Oh,
that hair, just like when
no.
we talked about Buffy the Vampire Slayer, how Luke Perry's character, the the little soul patch was a character. Josh Hartnett's hair was also a character.
It was. It was. That should have been, a credited character. Yeah, that was a choice. And I read that they actually didn't want to cast Zeke as someone as quote unquote good looking as Josh Hartnett, but they couldn't, they loved his vibe so much. Like the heart that he brought to his character, they just like fell in love with him. I have to say, Josh Hartnett today, though, 50-year-old Josh Hartnett is so much better looking.
Is he? Oh my god, I haven't seen him
He's
in a
very
while.
looking. Yeah, he's very handsome. So like I would go for that now, maybe. Maybe. Hmm. But during this time, I was all about like rockers,
Yeah.
that kind of bad boy.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm looking at him now. Duh, I saw him in that movie
Yeah.
Trap. I don't know if I didn't like his hair in Trap either. See, he had that weird
No, he had that weird like
part.
heart. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's aged well.
Yeah.
Let's say that. Okay.
Yeah. No,
He's aged well.
he's never been a terrible looking guy, other than that haircut was very terrible.
Right, right. So another cool thing about Zeke that I picked up on is like he's not really trying to impress anyone. He's just being
No.
himself. He's probably the most authentic character out of the whole group. Would I say he's coming of age? Maybe not, because he's always been true to himself. I feel like Stan was more coming of age, where he's like, I don't like who I am and I want to change and I want to grow up and stuff like that, which I really liked about his character. But yeah, Zeke has like this aloof confidence. Like he has like this really great charismatic personality. He's sarcastic as fuck.
Yeah.
And he's really smart. Like I thought at some point, like at some parts, he was smarter than Casey. That's Elijah Wood's character, where Casey's supposed to play like this nerdy dork, super smart kid. And I feel like Zeke outwitted him a lot.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think he was as smart as or smarter than
Yeah.
Casey was. He just didn't have the opportunity to show it. Again, I think everybody had him pegged as just this kid who failed his senior year. He's the drug dealer. He didn't care. He wore it like whatever. But when he needed to show his smarts, he did. When him and the teacher first discover the first little wormy alien thing, he's helping him identify the species. And it takes some brains to make drugs, I assume, right? I don't know. What do you think about this?
I mean, I watched Breaking Bad. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I
like Walter White.
I barely can measure out my prescribed when I need to take cough syrup. You know about me making drugs. Well, there's some chemistry to this, right?
Right. Yeah. So he has to know his shit to be able to make this stuff. Yeah. When he goes over the ingredients, I love it. Where he's like, it's mostly caffeine and some household ingredients. And I'm like, what, Windex? Like, what is in there, dude?
Did you make it some crystal meth or something? Like, I feel like, did they do that on purpose to kind of like stray away from saying it was drugs, and like, oh, if we just call it this other like fake name, scat, like who's I don't know. Again, I'm not here to claim I'm like a knowledgeable person of like drugs, and every few years like the names change, but I've never heard it be called scat. I've never heard anything be called scat. I've never heard of people like other than like Saved by the Bell when Jesse Spano is getting strung out on caffeine. Like caffeine's not really something people do. We got the Adderall crisis like here and there, but yeah.
Right.
I don't think anybody was so excited to take the caffeine. Sorry, Saved by the Bell references.
I'm so excited. I'm so scared.
Oh
yeah.
It's here.
I mean, I think maybe that part was satirical a bit. I don't know.
I think that part was actually the satirical aspect, that they were like, oh, we don't want to come out and say it's drugs, so we could kind of make this movie a little more marketable. But it was also like, read between the lines when he mentions, just like you said, oh, and some other household ingredients and all. He's also making other stuff.
Absolutely, because like he was like saying that he's out of stuff. I didn't really pay attention to all of his, inventory that he has in the back of his GTO. That's his shop.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
appreciate the hustle, he's got to drive, yeah, pharmacy on wheels, basically.
Pharmacy.
Yeah. Who needs ice cream man when you have scat on wheels?
Scat on wheels. Guaranteed to jack you up.
Yes, and that is like a huge quote that people still say today. They're like, "We could jack you up on scat."
What was your
Dang.
favorite kill? I'm thinking about that now. Now that we're thinking about, I was thinking about the science stuff and the
Oh,
science teacher. Now, nobody
yeah.
guys. That's what I think, that this movie catches a lot of hate. That, like, I saw on Reddit, people are like, yeah, but nobody actually dies. You think they die? There's
Right.
all kills, other than like the main queen, alien, queen bee, queenie. I want to call her Queen Bee, the queen
I
alien,
know. The Queen Alien.
the queen alien. But there's some fun what we think are deaths. So, did you have a favorite
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, my favorite one is definitely when Mr. Edward Furlong gets fucking knifed in the eye, or was it like pen in the eye? Something like that.
He gets
Yeah,
his
I
fingers
really
like with a paper cutter. They cut them
Yeah.
off, and then they stick the
Yeah.
scat in. And it's funny because I always hold a pen because I'm this weird person. When I'm recording, I have to hold on to something. Like,
Oh, that's so funny because
on video, you can see I'm always waving a little pen around, but I'm also
Yeah.
like writing things down. But they look like a bunch of like big pens, right? And they like stuff the
Mhm.
they jab the big pen in his eye with it, because that's what Zeke is using to carry this drug around, and they shove it
Right.
into his eye. Yeah, I thought that was the
Yeah.
best one. And he says it early. I don't know if you caught it when he's talking to Salma Hayek, which beautiful woman, by the
Oh,
way.
what a babe.
Yeah.
What a babe.
Yeah, I've always looked
Yeah,
up to her
she's
since I
hot.
was a little girl. She's such an iconic, especially as a Mexican.
Yeah.
I look up to her, this beautiful Mexican woman that she's
Oh,
beautiful. She acts, she does like she's so talented. Anyway, she's the
yes.
nurse. I went off on a tangent, and he's talking about something. He's like, "Oh, I'd rather just like stab my eye out," or he said, "I'd rather just stab my eye."
Right,
His eye
right.
gets stabbed later. But yeah, nobody
So
technically
funny.
dies, but they're fun what we think are kills until the end when we realize like, oh, everybody's back. But what's her favorite?
Right.
The one girl gets the teacher who the flirty teacher gets her head back, but he still has like an eye patch and his eyes are messed up. What's up with that? I was like, I think she should have got her head back. She's over here hollering at high school kids.
I know. I know. What was that about? In her little camisole top with a
She's got
built-in
a scarf
bra.
on at the end of my thing. Is she like that? You remember that? Oh my God. You
Oh my
remember
God,
that book?
Beetlejuice?
Oh, like
What? Which
Beetlejuice.
one?
No.
Like
Oh, that is
Beetlejuice,
like,
where they covered the decapitation. I can't even find the words. I'm like,
Miss Argentina.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
But no, I wasn't thinking of that. I remember there was this book, The Girl with was it the Yellow Ribbon? You've never read that book?
Mm, I don't
Or
think
The Green
so.
Ribbon? The Green
I
Ribbon.
don't.
Oh my God. The girl
It's
with the
not ringing a bell.
it's gonna now I've got to go on the Oh, go ahead. The girl with the green ribbon. Okay, I'm gonna go off on a tangent. The girl with the green
Go for
ribbon,
it.
okay, is a
Hmm.
popular urban legend short horror story about a girl named Jenny who always wears a green ribbon around her neck and refuses to tell anyone why, even her husband Alfred. The secret is only revealed on her deathbed when Alfred unties the ribbon and her head falls off. As the ribbon was the only thing keeping it attached. This was a kid's book. That book
Dude.
freaking scared me. I checked it out from the
Oh my
elementary
God.
library, and I'm like, oh, and the graphics of it are so scary. I'm like, I'll probably get in trouble showing it. Like, I'm
Oh
gonna show
my
it.
God. Ew. I'm sorry. That
And they
face.
show her whole life. She wears this green ribbon, and then on her deathbed, she finally because the husband would always ask her, "Why don't you take the ribbon off?" And then she took it, and her fucking head rolls off. And it's like a graphic like book, and it's an elementary kid book. I'm like, I had nightmares about that. So when I saw the lady wearing the ribbon at the end, I was like, "Oh God, it's a
It
freaking
triggered
book."
that memory. Isn't it that when you showed me the illustration, it kind of reminded me of Samara from The Ring after she
Yeah.
changes.
Oh
I
God,
wonder if they were inspired by that.
isn't
Ooh.
that creepy?
Yeah, that's
Well, you're
creepy.
not on the video on YouTube. Go just so you can see, or go or Google that shit.
Yeah,
The girl
Google
with the
it.
green
Google
ribbon.
it.
No, that book like I still to this day don't like Decapitation because that book creeped me out. I was way too young. I wasn't into scary. I wasn't even into scary movies yet. I mean, I was like probably 6, I think, or 7 when I read that book. Yeah, school librarian. Why did you let me read that?
School? How dare you? Oh
that
my
was
God.
not appropriate. Yeah, that's one of the many reasons I could go off on a tangent as to another movie that scarred me with Decapitation. But anyway, so she got her head back, but you know, the science teacher, Mr. Furlong, he's still messed up. He got eye patch in his fingers, I think, are still messed up. I'm like, why was he the only one that came back like damaged and everybody else is fine? I mean, didn't get it.
I think they were probably trying to make it funny. I don't know. I caught on that too. I was like, why is he all jacked up and everybody else is okay?
You got him jacked up.
Like Baby Newirth is fine. Coach Willis, like not a scratch on Miss Olsen either. Like what?
Now Miss Olsen even gets, she's the older one. She even gets like hotter throughout the movie. Like they made her look like older than she was, even though she's an older woman. Like after she stayed, they like got rid of her glasses and they did all these things. It's like she was beautiful to begin with, but they hit her.
Right. Yeah, they made her like kind of like a sex pot, like an older MILF.
Oh yeah,
I loved it.
MILF,
get it, girl. Get it, girl. Yeah,
but yeah,
it was so funny.
Scat drugs save the world, huh? I don't know. It makes me think of Dare. Were you in the Dare program? Did you guys have the Dare program on the East Coast?
We did. You know, Nancy Reagan.
Oh gosh.
She made us all sign the certificate. You know, we promised. Yeah. And I mean, I looked like I was trouble, like a little goth kid, but I was such a dork. Like I had like Elijah Wood's personality in this movie. I was like, oh, you guys, oh no. Yeah. But then I looked like Stokely. So, you know, it was very confusing time for people thinking that I would partake and I did not.
Yeah.
Well, I was really dorky.
They really punched that campaign in the face because they're like, the drugs are saving the world here.
Yeah. Joke's on you, Nancy.
Yeah.
Oh man. Do you have any favorite like quotes from this movie? I have so many.
Oh gosh. Go ahead. Tell me some of yours before I get into mine. We'll see if we have any of the same ones.
Yeah. So I love when, you know, Zeke wants Stokely to take the drugs and she's like, I'm not putting that hack drug up my nose. It's so 80s. And I'm like, what? What? It's because in the 80s everybody was doing coke? I don't know. So that made me laugh. I love when Delilah, that's Jordana Brewster's character, tells Casey, when did you become Sigourney Weaver?
Yeah. I was like, ooh, good shout out to aliens there. Yeah.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Very meta.
Yeah. You know, and then Zeke is talking to Mary Beth, who's the new girl, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And he's like, yeah, my parents are dead too. Because Mary Beth has like this whole bullshit backstory.
Yeah. She's a Southern girl. Yeah.
Yeah. She comes off very pure and angelic. She's got this long blonde hair. But anyway, so she tells Zeke, my parents are dead. So Zeke's like, yeah, my parents are dead too. And Mary Beth's like, oh my God, really? Your parents are dead too, Zeke? Oh my heart. Oh my stars. And Zeke's like, well, they're still breathing, but for all intents and purposes, they might as well be dead. And she's like, the look on her face, she's like, and maybe, oh my God, he's so sarcastic.
Like vacationing or something,
like in Europe or some shit.
Yeah, he's insinuating he's like this rich kid and his parents don't care about him. But yeah, that was a good one. He's like, well, they're not really dead.
Yeah,
I like Mary. Yeah, I like when Mary Beth, when she's like, I'm just a girl from Atlanta who happens to be a giant multi-tentacle parasite from another galaxy.
She's a whole vibe. Like, don't sleep on Mary Beth, folks.
She was so annoying to me. Like, I felt bad that she was the new girl. I don't know. Did you figure out who? It's so hard to remember, right? Like the first time we watched it.
Right.
Did you know that she was the killer? Did you figure it out? Were there any breadcrumbs? And then how did you feel about the reveal?
I don't think I picked up on it because like I was 17 and stupid when this came out. I was just like, oh, that guy that I like is hanging out with us. Ooh, but he didn't give a fuck about me. But anyway, so I was more into like, oh, this is so fun. And it did scare me. But I didn't I like the reveal. I remember being shocked at the time. And like, even now, I feel like, yeah, like if I watched it now for the first time, I probably would have caught on because it's very obvious, right? Like she just comes off like so goody two shoes. She comes off kind of fake. She's constantly like talking about, oh, I'm from Atlanta. And everybody's like, yeah, we fucking know, bitch. Like,
why does she say her whole name every time? I don't even remember her whole name. Mary Beth something.
Mary Beth Louise, blah, blah, bloop, blah, boop. Yeah.
Like 6 names. I think it's a Southern thing. I don't know. I'm not a Southerner, but I've heard that's a Southern thing.
Same. So yeah, I was pretty shocked. And then I read, I don't know if you know this, they actually changed the ending. They were originally going to have Stokely be the queen, but they were like, that's too obvious. Like the goth girl is the villain or whatever, the alien mother. So they changed it, which I like. I think it's pretty cool. I didn't suspect it then. I would have now. Yeah. What did you think about it?
I don't remember knowing it was her. I mean, because she played it off real well, right? I mean, but then when they re-show it to you, it's kind of like, really, nobody noticed the powder falling out of the pen when they're doing the Thing test, aka the movie The Thing.
Right.
I don't know who I suspected. I mean, I really guess I suspected it was going to be Delilah because she's such a bitchy person to her boyfriend. But yeah, I didn't catch on to her. But I love the ending when we do find out it's her. I love she's trying to win people over, like getting naked. Of course, they had to finally bring in some nudity because it's a horror movie. You gotta have some nudity.
Of course.
And the way that Casey's character kills her, I love that concept.
So good.
Of those bleachers, like those things actually scare me.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't the type of athlete where I did things in the gym. I was a cheerleader my freshman year, and so we did stuff in there. But we still had to go do stuff. We'd still go work out in there, even as runners. We'd go like on rainy days and different things. We'd do certain workouts in there. So like I was like, ooh, that's like a scary concept. And I'd totally forgotten that was the ending. I mean, I think that's when me and my mom, it was like hitting her. She's like, oh yeah, we did see this. And she goes, and my mom's like, she's like, but it was so cute. She's like, oh, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. I'm like, yeah. Like I was totally forgetting the ending. But yeah, it was so fun to, shout out to Mama Dorothy. It was so fun to like rewatch that. It was just like a fun coincidence that she came over on that night when I'm like in the middle of a rewatch. And yeah, I even remember she caught when we originally watched it, like during, and that's how I also remember in the middle of the movie, the first time we watched it in the movie theater, she leans in and she like whispers into my ear. She's like, this is just Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
Like I hadn't caught that. Like, I don't think I was a big Invasion of the Body Snatchers fan at the time. I don't even know if I
same
concept.
Yeah.
So shout out to Mama Dorothy because she took me to the movie. She rewatched it with me, and she was catching all.
She knew.
Remembering the
yeah, the bleacher kill is so good. I mean, it really was multi-purpose. That gym, it was where they hung out, they hid there, they got naked, they did the bleachers. Like, there was a strip show. Like they really were living it up in the gym. I hung out on the bleachers a lot where I pretended to have cramps so I wouldn't have to partake in gym. And I was in marching band too. I was such a dork. I was like there with my saxophone. I'm like, oh yay. So bleachers can be deadly, and Casey proved that. Okay.
Yeah. And of course, that's when he
kills.
The gym kills. See, that's why I don't work out, guys. This is why I'm fat.
Right? Exactly. This is why I'm chubby. Okay.
I'm on the fat kids diet over here.
Yeah.
The Atkins.
Fuck. I'm gonna pee. Cut that. Okay. Anyway, or don't. I don't care. But anyway.
I'm about going to my microphone.
When we're 40, we had kids. Like my bladder just. Anyway.
I will try to keep my jokes to myself. We'll try to close this up without too much more.
Funny.
But
so
yeah,
funny.
I mean,
but
watch the movie, guys. It's fun. It's a fun. Does
really
it age perfectly? No, I don't think it ages perfectly.
No.
Will modern audience, will young audiences 100% get it? No, they might not get all the 90s reference, but at its heart, I think it's a fun movie. It's not the best. It's written by Kevin Williamson, who did Scream, and he actually wrote this before he did Scream.
Yeah,
but nobody bought it or picked it up. So then they made Scream. Then they're like, "Oh, now we want your movie." But he didn't direct it. He wanted to go teaching Mrs. Tingle, which I guess was like a big passion of his, project of his. So that's how we ended up with Robert Rodriguez, which I love Robert Rodriguez's movies.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of fun stuff going on. You catch a Terminator. Robert Patrick is even doing the T1000 run. I mean, you can't not love that. So I definitely think people should check it out.
I agree. I thought it was so good. I feel like the ending where everybody's back to quote unquote their normal selves, and you see like Stokely's wearing like lavender and she's with Stan now. That. I was like, girl, just be you. Wear the black.
Yeah.
Black is hot, okay? Why are you in lavender? No.
He could have kept her gothy vibe and just, I didn't mind that her and Stan were now together, but it was really weird that they changed her aesthetic.
Yeah, she like totally changed for a guy. Ew, don't do that.
Yeah,
don't do that.
I didn't like that.
Be you, boo.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's like Breakfast Club, but even in Breakfast Club, I mean, Ali Sheedy's character. Did they do
Ali
that to
Sheedy? Yeah, they gave her like the pink glossy lip and like this white like poofy top, with a headband and shit. Yeah, I didn't like how they changed her. Jordana Brewster ends up with Elijah Wood, which I'm like, there was no chemistry there, which
I mean, he had a thing for her. We could tell and she insinuates that she knows that he has a thing for her because she can tell from like when she's trying to get him to join them, she's like, oh, like flirting with him on the bus essentially, right? But he doesn't fall for it. But yeah, I didn't expect them to. I didn't think she was into him. I thought he was strictly into her. And I don't think she was ever into Stan. I think she was just using Stan as like what she was supposed to be on paper. Like,
yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Is like, at least with like Stokely and Stan, there was like sexual tension and there was chemistry between them. But like these two, I'm like, how did this happen? It was very strange to me. Zeke ends up on the football team and Mary Beth is dead. So that's cool.
Yeah, the whole thing is I think we covered everybody. I mean, the coach is still coaching. When he became the alien, he became like this nice, soft guy, and now he's back to being a coach, being a mean yelling coach.
Yeah,
so everybody goes back to normal except Jon Stewart and Mary Beth is dead. I thought they again solidified the tropes, but I didn't like that Stokely's now rocking the purple, and it's like, girl, just rock your gothy vibe, like whatever vibe you had before. If she was into purple before, she could have stayed with purple. She was a cheerleader before, she could have stayed being a cheerleader. That was all. I didn't like that choice.
No, me neither. But it really fed into the Breakfast Club vibe,
for sure,
which I can appreciate. The 90s were the 90s, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun.
That was fun. Well, listeners, we hope our dialogue wasn't too dreadful for you. And with that, have a good one and keep it dreadful.
Watch out for them bleachers, okay? You don't want to get hit by bleachers.
And Mary Beth could be around any corner. Watch out. She might be. Never mind. I don't want you to be mean to the new kids. Just be careful. Be on point all the time.
Just be careful and don't wear lavender if you're wearing black. Okay. All right. Well, goodbye, everyone.